Hi, my name is Paul Jarvis, and I'm going to take you through the next portion of the grantee orientation. This section of the orientation is going to review the periodic reporting requirements in the DD Suite 5.0. To do that, I'm actually going to back out of our PowerPoint here and take you to the DD Suite. Now you can see on this dashboard here I've logged in as a dummy grant organization. And on the dashboard is a tasks module. So as your periodic reports get closer to being due, there will actually be tasks that pop up in your tasks module that show you have either a program or expense report that is due. It's important to note that these hyperlinks will only appear on the dashboard of individuals who have been attached to or assigned to a particular grant. So if you have multiple folks in your organization, but they haven't been added to a grant, these hyperlinks or these activities, the grant reports, are not going to appear on their dashboard until we've added them to the grant. So just to show you the steps that you'll take, you can click on the hyperlink for the program report, and here you can see that the program report is in progress. We have a program narrative. This is a field that allows you to enter information, typically a summary of what's been completed or conducted during the period for which you're reporting. In some cases that'll be on a quarterly basis. In other cases it'll be on a biannual basis. But here's a chance for you to just say, okay, here's an overview of what our project completed this particular quarter. So we'll say that's an executive summary, right? So you can see that I've entered information there. Now I can scroll down and you will see that I have an objective with activities. On your program report, these are going to be based on the objectives and activities that you entered in your grant application. So you can see here that I have an objective to show how to access and report on a work plan's objectives and activities, including how to enter performance measures. So I can give an update that says I conducted a webinar. You obviously want to be a little more thorough in the information that you provide in your narrative describing what activities you completed and how or whether or not you completed the objective. All right. I can also, if I want to, add additional activities under this objective. So if I've been working on a project and I realize, oh, I have all these other activities that I needed to do, but I did not include them in my grant application, we can add them after the fact as part of your program report. Scrolling down, you can see I have an IA 1.1. This is a performance measure that you selected, or in this case, I selected when I created this grant application. And you can see that it'll show whether I've reported any in previous periods. There's a field here for me to enter what I completed in the current period for which I am reporting, a cumulative total, and what my target was, what I said I would complete by the end of the project. So for example, I can hit 5 here. Let me enter 5. All right, and I can also, if I wanted to, list the names of the 5 people that I am reporting, or I can say I can add data. These five people were participated on January 31st event. Pardon my typing. All right, so I can scroll down and see I have other objectives that I can report on and other performance measures that I can enter. Now, it's important that once I'm complete, or even as I'm filling this out, I do want to hit this button, Save Report Changes. All right? Now, you'll see up here, let me move my little screen here, there's a link for attachments. So a lot of you have asked, as you complete materials that you want to attach to your program report, you can do that now by clicking this attachments link, and a pop-up will come up and ask you to browse the location on your computer where the attachment is. You'll be able to attach it to the report. Right. So once you've completed all of the information that you want to enter for your program report, you can hit Save and Submit Report. And it's going to say, are you sure you want to save and submit? Because once you submit it, you will not be able to make changes unless the DD Council staff sends the report back to you. All right, so I'm going to hit OK, and then I will get a notice that the program report was submitted, and it will actually tell me when it was submitted. There's a timestamp. You should also get an email from the DD Suite confirming that your program report was submitted, and the DD Council staff people responsible for this particular project will have also gotten an email saying that a report has been submitted. All right, so I'm going to go back to my dashboard and look at my tasks, and now the program the program report is gone, and now I have an expense report that is also due. So let's click on that just to see what it looks like. All right, so here you have pretty similar to the budget that you created. There's a field for you to provide a narrative on your expense report. This isn't necessary, although the fiscal staff may inform you, hey, will you explain something? How did we get to a certain point? This would be the place that you could provide a description or an explanation of what's going on with your expenses. All right, so as we look at the different budget categories that every grant is allowed to enter in their grant application, you can see that there are some line items that have been entered in this sample budget. So we can enter, if we've already submitted a report, then anything that we've submitted in previous reports will appear in this column. Here's the column where we enter the current information. So we'll say $500, and I'm just going to hit Tab. And it's automatically going to move me to the next field. And let's add $100 of match and tab out of there. And now it's going to show in the cumulative box what it's automatically going to add anything that appears here and here as the council cumulative amount. They're going to look at, it'll also show you what's been approved and what you have left in your budget. All right, so this minus 100, well, you can see that we didn't approve any match, but if you provide match, the council's not going to hold that against you. We obviously want more match than we need. So you can go through your budget and enter the expenses for the period that you're reporting on. So if it's, if you have an expense on April 1st, and this is period January through March, then you would not enter that expense in this expense report. You would wait for the following report. Okay, so I've entered an expense, and I'm going to save report changes. You will see that I'm also able to add attachments to the expense report. If I click that, I'm going to click that, and it's going to ask me, did you save your changes? So if I entered information in the fields, but I forgot to hit Save Report Changes, and I go to add attachments, all the information that I entered here is going to be lost. All right, so I hit OK here, and now it's going to take me to a screen where I can add a file. So I can click Add File, and it's going to say where am I getting this file from, and you can choose the file location. You can choose which report you want to attach it to. So you can say, oh, I forgot to add this to the program report actually, so we'll add it to the program report. We're going to name what we're adding sample document. All right, this isn't required, but you can add the author. You can add a description of what the document is. And wow, they'll even let you add enter comma separated keywords and phrases. All right, so let's just choose a file. You're going to see the inner workings of the Jarvis family. Laptop here, and I have room rules that I am trying to attach. You'll see that now it's been attached. In order to add that attachment, I'll hit Save. Are you sure you want to upload this file? Yes. Alright, so this now will take me back to the screen where I can see my document's been added to period 1 program report. Alright, now if I want to go back, you remember as you were working on your application that you want to follow your breadcrumbs. They don't have a button down here to take you back to the overview page. So I'm just going to go to expense period 1. All right, and I'm going to save and submit my report. Okay. All right, it's been submitted. It tells me the date and time. So now I can go back to periodic reporting, and this will show me all of the reports that I'm going to have due. So as you work on your program activities, if you want to enter information in your report, you don't have to wait for it to show up in your tasks box on your dashboard. You can click this periodic reports reporting module, and if you wanted to start entering information as you worked on activities, you could do that. So that's the basics of going into the DD Suite and entering information into your program or expense reports. If you have any questions, my contact information is on the DD Council website. Again, my name is Paul Jarvis, and I thank you.